Hi guys, in this video, we're going to look at how you can become a crane operator in just 5 days. We're going to look at how much you can earn, what the jobs market looks like, the qualification or the license itself, what the training looks like, and I can give you a rough idea of the costs, and all the links to everything we mention can be found in the description below. So if you want to become a crane operator, the first thing you're going to do is attend an accredited 5 to 10 day training course with an approved provider. Now, one of the questions we get asked about a lot is the entry requirements for the course. And a lot of people are quite surprised to know the only entry requirement is a good level of spoken and written English. This is because most of the role will be completed using English, and also a lot of your assessments take place in English as well. This is something that is required by the CPCS and also NPAWS. Now, another thing I do like to say for our tower crane operator students, don't overlook the fact that if you're not used to working at height, it can be a bit scary the first time. Another really important thing is to make sure you look at the reviews of different companies. Some really are better than others. All the ones that we work with are absolutely top notch. But if you're going for someone outside of our network, you're going to just want to make sure that they know what they're doing. Now, the standard layout for the course, day one, you're going to be doing your theory assessment training. I'll explain how this works, but you're predominantly going to be in a classroom. You're going to be going through the material with your instructor. You've got about 80 questions, 40 of which you'll be asked in the exam, which you will deliver verbally. So you don't have to write the answers down. You can actually deliver them verbally to your assessor, which is quite nice. Then days 2, 3, and 4 for the tower crane operator training, you will actually be on site in the field. The way we do it, we do our courses one-to-one, which is a little bit different. So you will actually have 3 days one-to-one with your instructor, actually sat up in the tower crane, learning how to complete the lifts. Other companies do it a little bit differently. They do a 10-day course with a group of up to 6 people. So the course is twice the length, but there's just less one-to-one time. It depends what you think works best for you. Day 5 will be your assessment. Now, the first assessment will be the theory, where you're asked the questions, and then the second part will be the practical. You do have to pass the theory, first of all, to be able to take your practical. And your practical assessment will normally be you completing some scheduled lifts that you have pre-practiced with your assessor. Now, in terms of costs, it really depends on which provider you go for. Tower crane operator training can really be anything from £2,700 to £3,500–4,000 £4,000, depending on the categories that you choose to go for, depending on the length of your course, and depending on whether there are any resit fees. The qualification. Now, the qualification that you get is really, really important. You've got 2 main providers when it comes to crane operator training. You've got the CPCS, which is the Construction Plant Competence Scheme, and you've got NPAWS. Now, CPCS is the most widely accepted qualification in the United Kingdom. I would highly recommend becoming a CPCS operator over NPAWS. It can be a little bit more pricey, but it's one of those things that will pay you back time and time again. I can't tell you how many people come back to us having done their NPAWS qualification and then have to pay again to get their CPCS qualification with us because they just find it's not accepted as widely. It's also worth noting that once you've got that category card, for example, your CPCS card, that is the only thing you need to get on site. You do not need an additional CSCS card or anything alongside it, unless in unique circumstances where sites require specific tickets. But for the most part, for general purposes, this is the only thing you'll need to get on site in that role. Now, at the Lift Tech Academy, we understand you don't want to do a training course, you want to get yourself a job. So let's look at that. Now, the UK construction market tends to have a pretty healthy jobs market. It certainly can have some seasonal implications, like the winters are a bit quieter, the summers are wild, but they do tend to balance themselves out quite nicely. There's also many tower cranes across London and UK cities, certainly in the southeast around Reading, up in Scotland in the Midlands, any major city, there does seem to be quite a lot of work. It's also a relatively future-proof career. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about AI and artificial intelligence. I tend to think the construction industry and, specific trades and labour are going to be some of the last industries that we will see disrupted. So, if you're training into this, you're probably getting yourself into something that will serve you long term. Now, when you start out, you're obviously not going to have any experience and you might find yourself pushed aside for more experienced workers. That is a fact of life. It doesn't matter if you're serving coffee in Starbucks, pulling pints in the pub. The more experience you have, the better you're going to be. The good news is this is the hardest it will ever be for you at this point. It's your job to follow our method for reaching out to companies, doing it enough so that you can get yourself that start. I can promise you, if you control the inputs, you will get the output that you want, which is employment. You need to be reaching out to enough companies, and if you do that, you will get that all-elusive job start. And from that point forward, you will be able to build your book of experience so you are no longer an inexperienced worker. Now, how much can you earn as a crane operator? And the answer is, it's a resounding, it depends. So you will find that a lot of work for tower crane operators comes under the self-employment bracket. There's some benefits to this. You get some nice tax breaks. You can enroll into the CIS tax scheme, which means you get deductions on your expenses, and you tend to pay around 20% tax, which is quite nice. And you also pay your national insurance contributions annually. And I've always found they're a little bit less than when you're on a PAYE contract. Getting into the crux of it though, a tower crane operator working self-employed can expect to earn on average around £230 a day. I've certainly seen this as low as £200 a day. I've seen it as high as £250, £280 a day. It does depend a little bit on your experience, who you're working for, the complexity of the job, and how well you're able to negotiate. I do suggest though that when you're brand new, look, take what you can get. If someone's paying a bottom rate of £200 a day, absolutely take it, because the more experience you can build up, the more negotiating power you have in the future. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Tim with LiftTech Construction Training. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and our construction training helpline is open till 9 p.m, 7 days a week. You can find the number below. Our mission is to help you get into highly skilled work because skills pay the bills. Thank you for watching and see you next time.